Wanna see something cool? These are horror icons drawn in the style of scary stories to tell in the dark.
Here's some normal things people do that's actually witchcraft. One of them's giving out candy on Valentine's Day. Wedding traditions for love or good luck, just like the whole something old, something new. Same with catching the bouquet. Blessing somebody after they sneeze. Meditation and yoga is also used to clear the mind before spells. So, like it or not, you're a witch and you're in the right place. Heart and follow for more.
Okay guys, I just found something incredibly weird on Google Earth and I have to know what you think. Okay, so this one is freaky. You're gonna zoom into the middle of Texas and you're gonna find a store called Buzz Mill. Now, you're gonna go into this store on Street View, you're gonna go into the back hallway, and you're gonna turn and look, and you are gonna see, what is that? Are these people wearing animal heads? Is secret society?
Whatever you do, don't search this TikTok account up. This account goes by the name of I Love Ochinchin, and as you can tell, most of the videos have the sensitive content warning. The user claims that his content is cursed, and if you watch it, you'll get nightmares and headaches.
The craziest torture methods ever, part 27. Peine forte de dure. That's actually French for strong and harsh punishment. This was actually a legal law torture method, introduced in the 1400s and abolished in the 1800s. This was only used for defendants who refused to enter a plea or stood mute. Heavy weights or stones would be applied to the chest of the victim. More and more weight would be added until a plea was entered or death resulted. This could go on for days. Fuck that.
Morbid Facts, Part 160. When Pennsylvania Treasurer Bud Dwyer was accused of taking a bribe in 1987, he called for a live news conference. During the conference, he pulled a revolver out of an envelope and shot himself through the mouth. His suicide was broadcasted later that day to a wide television audience across Pennsylvania. Napoleon Bonaparte was buried with all of his body parts except for one, his schlong. It is currently owned by a private collector in New Jersey who recently declined a $100,000 offer. Waste chopping was a popular execution method in ancient China that involved sawing the body clean in half. It was abolished in 1734 after a Chinese official was cut in half and still managed to write the Chinese word for awful 7 times in his own blood.
So I'm here in this creepy little town here that I found up on the mountains. And in this little house here, you're going to see something really creepy staring right out the window. You see him? Look at that. See, already on the side, you can see what looks like a leg or something. Oh, God. Oh, wow. Look in the inside. You can see legs there, and then when you go right into it, it looks like a lady. I don't know if they did that for, you know, a more historic security reasons to make sure nobody goes in. What the hell?
Please do Cat Scratch. I actually used to play this game with my sisters all the time when we were younger, and most of the time it actually worked. So Cat Scratch is a paranormal game which basically you're supposed to summon some sort of spirit to scratch you along your back. To play the game you need at least 2 people, so one person sits crisscross applesauce and the other person lays their head in that person's lap. The person who's sitting up then starts rubbing the other person's temples and telling them one of the Cat Scratch stories. There are a few different variations of stories that go along with this game, but I'll tell you the most popular one. So the story goes like, there was once an old lady who owned a cat. The cat was very nice. It would meow and purr. One day the cat got hit by a car and died. Cat scratch, cat scratch, cat scratch. The old lady got a new cat. This cat was very mean. It hissed and clawed. Cat scratch, cat scratch, cat scratch. I'm running out of time, but follow for part 2.
Urban legends from around the world. La Ciguapa, located in the Dominican Republic. Here's the story. Said to be a hypnotic mythical creature in the form of a woman. Said to have long hair that covers her whole body, and the most interesting part is that she has backwards feet. Said to dwell in forests and the Highland Mountains. She lures unsuspecting men in, and they are never seen again. The first claim of this creature actually dates back all the way to 1866. Which country is next?
Class Photos of Celebrities Part 2. First we have Marilyn Monroe. She was considered one of the most beautiful women of all time. She's an icon of her generation, and she was sleeping with the president. That is one hell of a resume. Well, this picture with Bobby Greco was the last time she was ever seen on film. A few days later, she would be found in her hotel room after taking too many sleeping pills. Some people think it could have been an intentional overdose, and other people think she could have been taken out by the CIA. Next on the list, we have John F. Kennedy. These two go hand in hand, so it makes sense to put them one after the other in this video. This is the last photo taken of John F. Kennedy before he was assassinated by Lee Harvey Oswald and possibly one other shooter. For those of you who don't know, John F. Kennedy was shot in front of the whole world on live television, and most of his death is shrouded in mystery. To this day, there are endless questions about what happened to him, but maybe the answers to those secrets are held in this picture. Alright guys, that's all we have for you today. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Have you heard about the doll that grows real human hair? The doll's name is Okiku, and there's actually different legends, but the most popular one is that this doll was bought by a 17-year-old boy to give to his sister. And this was back in the year 1918. The 3-year-old girl loved the doll very much. She took it everywhere with her, but she unfortunately died one day after catching a cold. And that's when things with the doll started to get very strange. The jet black hair of the doll started to get longer every single day. And before long, the hair was all the way down to the doll's knees. The family was extremely alarmed and concluded that their daughter's spirit had somehow inhabited the doll. And whenever they would trim the doll's hair, it would just grow back again. Now, they were unwilling to get rid of the doll because if their daughter's spirit was in it, they just didn't want to discard it. So they took it to a temple in the town of Iwamizawa. The family explained the doll's unusual qualities to the priest of the temple, but he accepted it anyway. Trimming the doll's hair is a normal thing to do, and this doll has actually become very famous throughout Japan.
Yo, so with everything going on with Chuck E. Cheese right now, why is no one covering this? Apparently an old employee manual for the night shift workers was found, and just wait till you hear this. It is always important that a Chuck E. Cheese night shift employee must wear a spare Chuck E. Cheese costume head to avoid any animatronic facial recognition, because if they spot any humans in the building during post hours, they will automatically detect that a person as a criminal trying to tamper with objects from the building, and that won't lead to anything good. What the hell? As if these things weren't creepy enough.
Look what happened last night.
Have you ever heard of the past life hunter? It's a creature that moves between the worlds, searching in time for the ones that it seeks. For many people, the past life hunter is an urban myth, a bedtime story or a joke. But for the ones that it hunts and kills, there couldn't be anything more frightening than facing it before death. It's said to be a creature that's large in size yet carries itself in silence. Its man-like features and dark burned skin are hard like old leather. While its eyes have the reflection of your past life, you must not look in them. See, this is how it traps you, because what you see is so familiar to you, like a place you have been, seeing people you know. But it's during this moment of wonder where you lose yourself, and using its nails sharper than razors, it quietly slits your throat. Cut so clean you stand in silence, not even knowing you're dead yet. But there's a way to avoid this deathly creature, and I will let you know very soon. But before I do, if you love monsters like this, don't forget to check out my mate, King FYP, for more.
Photos that look normal but have really creepy backstories. What may seem like a normal photo is actually the final footprints of a 4-year-old girl that drowned in the pond. This picture was taken by the crew of a ship who saw this 11-year-old girl floating on a disintegrating float. Her whole family was murdered on a sailboat by their hired captain, who left her to drown with the sinking boat. She miraculously made it to the life float. She drifted for 4 days, no water, no food, being burned by the sun. Upon hearing that she had survived, the captain killed himself. This is a basketball card for Mark Jackson, and in the background you can actually see the Mendes brothers sitting courtside after they kill their parents. This photo looks like a normal hiking photo, but it is actually far from that. A girl and her friend found a 22-year-old girl face down in the mud, both legs broken with compound fractures. She had no cell phone, no water, no food, and nothing to keep her warm, and her friend was dead. You can see the girl in the background if you look towards the lower right.
I was really trying not to get involved with this, but I am serial killer TikTok, and there's a claim that there's a serial killer in Arkansas. So, this is what I know. The claim stemmed from the fact that there is an FBI investigation happening. But the only reason that the FBI was involved was because the investigation was on federal land. And they do have a federal investigation happening in a wooded area off Black Snake Road. And this does include a victim, 32-year-old Paige Autumn White. Paige was found 5 days after she left a local addiction treatment center, where she was undergoing court-ordered inpatient treatment. And records show that White left on the 22nd against medical advice. Her remains were found in this wooded area, and she had a missing right eye and an anchor tattoo on her foot. But there was not 5 dismembered bodies found in Hot Springs. And while authorities have said that they believe Paige is a victim of a homicide, they have also said that there are no other victims. All claims of additional victims found were purely social media-based claims. They did address the social media claims by saying they have no indication that this is anything other than an isolated incident. And while this is an ongoing homicide investigation, that they are seeking information that will lead to an arrest, not a serial killer. And one of the reasons I didn't want to get involved with this is because of the claim that they might just be withholding information from the media. So all I can do is tell you what I found, which is multiple sources saying that the claim that there's a serial killer running around Hot Springs or around Arkansas is false. The closest thing that I can find that says it's true is on Snopes, and it says mostly false. You guys have a good night. Try not to end up on a murder doc.
The world's most dangerous conspiracy theories. This picture represents conspiracy theories from the most well-known to the darkest. Some of these theories say that once you learn the truth, there's no return. For this series, we're going to be picking some from each category until we reach tier 10, the point of no return. Tier 10 is so scary that people are saying that I will literally die before I even reach getting the tier 10. But let's do it, so make sure to follow so you can continue the journey with me. Okay, so tier 2. If you haven't seen tier 1 yet, I encourage you to go check it out. Today, we're going to be talking about Bohemian Grove. Bohemian Grove is a 2,700-acre campground in California for this gentleman's club. This gentleman's club is far different than any other male club. This one includes the absolute most powerful people in modern day. From government officials to presidents to media specialists to even the 1% of wealthy people. People believe that these individuals can control every day of our modern lives. For example, where you buy your groceries, how much you pay for gas, when we go to war, and even who's elected. The following stuff I'm about to say is 100% real, and this part is not a conspiracy. They even have a ritual called the cremation of care. A bunch of these people put on masks and they stand in front of a 40-foot owl releasing their care to it. And then they light it on fire. Their security is so intense that they know you're coming miles before you even see the place. A man named Alex Jones snuck in and recorded this footage.
We're being released from beneath little wrought iron crosses about 1.5 feet tall.
He then later tried to send the footage to media, but every single time the footage was deleted. 3 different occasions. Here's where the conspiracy comes in. JFK gave a speech talking about how dangerous these secret societies were because they would never release any information to the public. 7 days later, JFK was shot and killed, and even to this day, nobody knows 100% what happened. Just think, if a president gets murdered, don't you think it would have been solved by now? So what do you think? Do you think Bohemian Grove is just a fun campground for all these people to hang out, or do you think Bohemian Grove is hiding a much darker secret? Make sure to like and follow because we have a lot more to learn. Also, my YouTube is Austin Vro. I'm going to be posting full conspiracy theories on this. It's just kind of difficult to do it in like only a minute and a half.